Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. You guys are watching the House of Collectibles, and thank you guys for joining us once again. Today we have another special video, and today we are going to be looking at the Hot Toys Boba Fett 2-pack from the Mandalorian series. This is the deluxe version, so we are going to take a look at this guy, and he is in a fairly big box because we don't have one, but we have two figures today, so bear with me. I don't try to cut corners in my videos as much as possible, but I promise I will do my best to try to keep it moving along. Feel free to skip along through the video if you need to, but without further ado, we are going to crack this bad boy open. All right, guys, so looking at the front of the box here, we are greeted with a beautiful image of both of the figures inside. We are greeted with the unmasked Temuera Morrison head sculpt here with the robed Boba Fett, and we have the helmeted Boba Fett version here, and you can see the deluxe notation there. This is TMS 034 Boba Fett Deluxe version, and you can see him there as well. I cannot wait to crack this open. The head sculpt is awesome already. As you guys can see, these are real shots of the figure itself. But yeah, the box has the normal cigar band for usual Star Wars boxes. And then just look at that. Tell me that image right there does not look badass. I think so. I can't wait to pose this guy around. I know he's going to be pretty fun to get into different action shots. If you guys have Boba Fett's out there, you guys know that they're, for the most part, dynamic. So I cannot wait. And this insert is very, very cool. So after that, you'll just slip it off, and then look at that. And as you guys can see, there is so many different accessories in this 2-pack. It's not even funny. So let's just check this out and see what is going on. Taking a first look at the figures, guys, we're going to set some of these accessories off to the side because they're in the way, but nonetheless feeling really nice, looking good. That head sculpt is beautiful already, I can tell you guys. And then for this guy, very, very nice. He is looking very, very beautiful. We're going to put these guys to the side, and now we are going to take a look at all of the accessories that come in the 2-pack. All right, so here we have all of the accessories for both of the figures, and you mainly get more for the armored Boba Fett, clearly, as the one in the robes doesn't have so much gear. But we're going to take a look at everything that you get. Starting off with the bases, you have two different display bases here. One comes with a crotch grabber, as you can see here, and the other one comes with a flight pole, but they are done very, very nicely. You kind of have this grassy, rocky terrain, and for the one with the crotch grabber, and by the way, you can't swap them because that one you will see later is cut out differently. This one with the crotch grabber goes with the one with the rock outlook in the front of the base. Rather, the second one comes with it on the back. And I think this one is mainly set up for the one with the knee dart pose that people do. And you guys will see what I'm talking about there later with those pieces there. But yes, this piece is up front of the base, so then you can kind of have his knee just right on top of there rested. But The bases are painted very nicely in this brownish, kind of a wash. And then there's a nice level of like, deep different colors of like dark browns, there's grays, and then you got the green all over the place for the grass. And this is the one with the flight pole here. But as you can see, this flight pole is cut out specifically for it to go right here with the rocks covering it very seamlessly, like so. So you are supposed to use this one, and you see that the rocks are far off to the back end versus the other base. But yeah, the bases are done very nicely, no complaints there. And we'll take a look at the accessories for the robed Boba first. And the first piece here is this is like a cycler rifle. I believe this is like one of the rifles that you got in the Tusken Raider release. If you guys haven't seen that video, I have my review on the Tusken Raider. You guys can go back and watch that. I'm not sure if this is painted exactly the same, but it is done very, very nicely. You guys can see that there is a level of detail for the wood graining back there on the stock. You have nice different colors of gold and bronze and coppers all down this thing, but it is nicely weathered with a patina over the gold pieces, and on the barrel itself it has kind of a darker wash in the crevices and closer to those points on the gold almost like wrappings on the barrel itself. But the strap is done with pleather, but it is done kind of nicely here. It's kind of got like a nylon piping on the edges, and then has a pleather inlay on the middle, and it is held in with actual clamps. I'm not sure if you guys can see that, metal clasps, sorry, with metal buttons that you can actually push in and out. I'm not sure if I'm really going to do that, but I think you can somewhat adjust the kind of like the strap there for the rifle itself. But that's done very nicely. And look at that, even this little hint of like, different gunmetal on the back, kind of the silver, and those two studs there. Nice paint job. They did a really nice job. No complaints there. And then you also get his gaffy stick, which he made in the show. This thing is really cool. This is one of the main weapons for the Sand People, the Tusken Raider. And while Boba Fett was out there learning the ways of the people, he got to get really close with the Tusken Raiders, and he kind of made his own by hand. And that's really cool that we got to see that in the show. So this piece is done very nicely. It is nice and, painted up, looking like wood here, and then down here you can see for the metal spike at the end, and it even has a ton of weathering on the surface of the rod itself, making it look a lot more used and lived in. I'm not too much of a fan of the application way that they expect you to put this on the figure. It's pretty much just a string, and you kind of gotta just throw it over the figure somehow, and it'll stay on his back. But I feel like there could have been a better way to use this accessory, but it is authentic because I think he had an actual strap holding it in the show to his body. So it is what it is with that. Now we're going to take a look at the accessories that you get for the armored Boba Fett. Oh, and I actually do take that back. There are two of these blasters that you get. So one of these does go with the armored Boba Fett, and the other one goes with the robed Boba Fett along these two accessories. But this is starting off with this accessory. So this blaster is done very, very nicely. You can see that there's a nice gunmetal color back here, and then you got a kind of like a silver or a lighter gunmetal up here for the barrel, but it's kind of like a blue steel kind of thing back here for the handle. It kind of has like a little shade of blue. I don't know if that's coming across, but it's nicely scuffed and scratched up. There is a patina. There is oil staining as well in the crevices, and it's got a nice little scope. As you guys can see, that'd be crazy to look through and see how many yards downrange. There's an actual metal clip down here at the bottom. I'm not sure why. I'm assuming that that's accurate to the actual blaster on the show, but you're just gonna pop this right in the holster. But I like the wood handle too as well. It's done very nicely, so no complaints with that piece either. And you also get this bucket right here, this Stormtrooper bucket, and this was in the show as well. When we see this armored Boba Fett getting out of the Sarlacc pit, we briefly see a Stormtrooper stuck in there for much time, just like Boba Fett was dealing with, and you see him pull the breather out from this guy's helmet to be able to take a breath, because it's even unbearable to breathe in the Sarlacc pit. So it's really cool that they added this. I'm not sure what you can really do with it, but just place it. It also really, it does come with a ball receptacle, so I guess if you had older Stormtrooper body, you could pop this on there and kind of recreate that. I love the green in the lens for the eyes. It's done very nicely. It's very nicely crumpled and mangled up on one side here as it's starting to deteriorate from the Sarlacc pit itself. There's a kind of like a weathering over the top, speckled of dirt and grime all around the bucket, even in these crevices as well. There is a wash there. But now that I'm thinking about it, you know, I'm thinking that this Stormtrooper that was in the Sarlacc pit with him in the show would have been from A New Hope, because you don't see any Stormtroopers when he falls in Return of the Jedi. So let me know if you guys think this would be one of the troopers from the beginning of A New Hope when they're out in the desert dunes looking for R2-D2 and C-3PO. I just kind of thought about that as I'm doing this, and that is pretty cool throw in there for the piece itself, but also for them to use that in the show. It just goes to show that Star Wars is insane when it comes to the timelines. They'll make you go all the way back and check those things out, and let me know what you guys think. You also do get these nicely done blaster or takeoff effects, and this would be when the thrusters would be in use for the jetpack. And we can take a look at that right now. The jetpack is done very nicely. The paint job looks so cool. I'm loving all the different pops of color. I'm loving the red, the yellow, that mustard yellow with kind of like that teal blue, and it's weathered to the nines. It is so shiny with that paint job because this is painted Beskar, and you can see all of that real metal color coming through the paint as it's all being chipped away. And guys, I can't say nothing better about this jetpack. This thing looks insane. I mean, look at the detail. Even on the bottom, it's nicely weathered. On the back, it is attached via magnet, so that is another plus. But look at the weatherization on the back of the jetpack, something that you wouldn't even see because it's up against the figure, and they even went the full nines. The thrusters are articulated, so that is really cool. And you can pop these bad boys in here like so. It's kind of tight at the first time that you do it, but you guys can see you can get them in an nice action shot with these blasting off effects there for the jetpack. So I really like that. I love the magnetic attachment effect. Oh, and you also get the rocket that goes inside the top, and this is also tight as well. Do be careful. I'm not going to pop it in all the way. And this rocket is done very nicely. Again, as you guys can see, very tight. But look at the paint job on the rocket itself. I mean, you got that military green. You got that nice little pop of yellow. You got this wash of silver here. And look at that all in the crevices. You can see all of the dirt and staining. Down here for the bottom, there's a subtle weathering along the edges that really look cool, because it just makes it look like dirt was sitting right up against that. And they did a really nice job. You can see like the weathering down here on the bottom in the crevices. Guys, looks really sick. But if you don't want to pose it like that, they even add a nice translucent blasting off effect for the rocket itself. And this, I think, was the first time that they added this for a Boba figure. And this is done in a nice translucent clearish plastic. It's got a nice little smoky effect with a nice hint of orange for the explosion itself up here. And that will simply look like this. You pop this bad boy on here like so. And then you pop the rocket on top of the explosion. Again, it's friction fit. It's pretty tight when you first get it out of the box. But look at that, guys. You telling me that that isn't deceiving? That looks like that rocket is literally coming right out of the back of that jetpack. And when you have the on the back of the figure, having him leaning over, oh man, guys, amazing. Worth $1 million with a picture, guys. So definitely try that out. That's really cool. Jetpack is always one of my favorite pieces for Boba. You can't go wrong with that. With this, you also get the these are the knee darts, and they're called whistling bird effects in the manual. So I'm guessing these are whistling bird darts for his knees, but they're done very nicely, again, in the translucent plastic. And they have that nice little smoky effect with the nice little orange for the tips. And these little darts or rockets, mini rockets at the end of this smoke trail looks so cool. The paint job looks very nice. It's a nice silver. It's got a nice shine to it. Can't go wrong with that. I'm not sure about how they go on. They go on the knee armor, the shin armor, and you're supposed to clip them on. I was kind of messing around with it. I don't feel comfortable doing it. I might not pose him like this, but you guys let me know if you guys have an easier way to do so. And I might look into that. But as of right now, I'm not too comfortable doing that. You also get these two pieces here, and these are exclusive to the Deluxe Special Edition, I believe. And these are pretty cool throw-ins. You get one bluish hologram of Jango Fett, and this looks really cool. So he can be looking at a picture of his father. Very cool. You can see Jango Fett there, even with the rocket. I mean, it looks very realistic just for a small little figure in low detail. I think they executed it very nicely, and I like that. And this, you get this orange little piece here, and this is the chain code for Boba's armor, I believe. It's been a while since I watched the show, guys. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is the chain code to confirm that the armor is his, I think. I don't remember off the top of my head, but once again, this has Arabish written on the surface of it, and it's got a nice little splatter speckle effect on the top for the paint job, but it's done in this nice orange translucent plastic. But yes, these are the special edition throw-in pieces. So if you got the regular, I don't believe you get these, but those get slid onto his gauntlet, and it'll look like it's actually emanating from his hollow projector on his gauntlet. And then last but not least, you got a array of hands here. They're done pretty nicely. I'll just look at a couple of them. Both figures do come with hands on them, but one bummer about the hands here, you don't get doubles of everything, so you don't get two fists for each figure. They expect you to use fisted hands on one of them and vice versa. But this is the gunslinging hand. I really like this hand. I love the sculpt of it. As you can see that he is spinning the gun back and putting it in the holster. He has the two-tone fingerless gloves. You got the brown for the finger sections, and then the black down here for the glove itself. No complaints there. It's looking very nicely, and you got the armor plate on the back with a kind of like a dusting of weathering, just to give it kind of a dirtied look. But look at the detail on the glove there. It looks like real leather. Like, that's crazy. It looks like real calfskin leather gloves. They did a really good job, and even down there for the seams on the side of the fingers, they look really, really nice. You got weapon wielding hands here as well. I love the weathering on the back, dirtying them up like that. Got this little weird one with a thumbs up. Like, Boba's never gonna do a thumbs up in my display, but it is what it is. You got another weapon wielding hand there. And you got kind of like another, I said thumbs up, guys. This is for the gaffy stick. This is for him to hold the gaffy stick. And then you get two fisted hands like so. So yeah, that is all the accessories, guys. Now we're going to take a look at both of the figures and try to make this video a little bit quicker for you guys. All right, guys, so here we have the robed Boba Fett, as you guys can see, with the Tamora Morrison head sculpt. And that head sculpt, guys, looks so good. I forgot to show you guys it in the accessories portion of the video. It is technically in an accessory, but it goes on the one figure. So I wanted to just show you guys it on the body. Quickly showing you guys a 360 of him. Nothing crazy. He comes robed up, but he is fully suited up beneath that. I might take the robes off and show you guys what that looks like, but we will see what the head sculpt looks like on the armored Boba Fett, and I know that's what everybody wants to see. So now I want to show you guys the armored version. And here we have the armored Boba Fett. He looks so cool. I did put the jetpack on him because what is a Boba Fett without a jetpack, right? He looks so sick. The proportions look realistic. He looks like a shrunk down dude right in front of me with all this armor on. It's crazy, guys. They really knocked it out of the park with this figure. And the weathering on those armor plates are really good. Those are the price of admission by themselves. And that Tamora Morrison head sculpt, this is a dope 2-pack. If you guys are in the market for a Boba Fett and you like this one, you should pick this up. It will not disappoint. But let's take a closer look at these guys. All right, guys, and if we take a quick look at the robed Boba Fett here, as you guys can see, he looks very nice. He looks pretty simple when you're looking just at him just because he's all robed up, but he does have a full ribbed flight suit below, which you can remove the robe just for time purposes. I'm not going to do that here in this video, but if you guys have this figure, you guys already know, or you guys have seen in other videos, I'm sure already. But as you guys can see there, he has a very nicely done ribbed undersuit. It's got very nice stitching. There is a ton of padding on this guy though, but the weathering is through and through all the way throughout the whole suit here. There's a slight tinge of dirt. Again, you have his bandolier strap here, there with all of his gold little accents there, and then you have all the individual strings here to make up the big belt below there. This guy, you do get 2 blasters. Like I mentioned before, I already have his here in the holster just to finish off the look here. But this guy, his robe is very, very thick, and you know it will limit certain articulation here. But this guy, with all the padding, you can still get this guy in a ton of poses. As you can see here, you have the nice sculpting of the boot spats over here going over the boots, and the boots are nicely sculpted as well and weathered exceptionally fine there, as you guys can see. But there's a slight level of dirtiness all the way throughout this figure and the other armored Boba Fett. But I just wanted to guys show you kind of these close-up accents of the figure itself. You do get this beautiful, beautiful portrait of Boba Fett himself, aka Tamora Morrison, the actor that played Boba Fett. I have no complaints whatsoever, guys, with this head sculpt. It is very, very good. You guys can see the acid wash and all of the scarring there from the Sarlacc pit that you guys even seen from the show. It is kind of like an acid wash though. You can see that slight tinge of white over his head all around here. And this is actually, this head sculpt, I believe, is even different from the newer, from the Book of Boba Fett. And I think that's kind of the same sculpt, but you get less of an acid wash here just because this is actually when he was, he came out of that Sarlacc pit. So I really do like that. But you guys can see the details on this head sculpt. It does not disappoint, guys, whatsoever. You guys have a slight little, you got the texturing there for the skin, even all the way down with a fully sculpted neck tone down here. And that goes all the way through without the sculpt. But yeah, it's very, very nice. You would think that a bald character would be very hard to nail, and they even did that. You can see that his head sculpt is not fully rounded up at the top, and it kind of goes to a crown, and that's, you know, very authentic to the human anatomy. We don't have perfectly round heads, and I love the fact that they nailed that here on this sculpt. So again, no complaints here with that. He has kind of that determined look, and he's looking off to one side, so I think that is very cool. It kind of gives more character to the head sculpt itself. But yeah, guys, no complaints. You will see this head sculpt then on the armored Boba, because I'm sure you guys do want to see that. But just wanted to give you guys a quick rundown of the figure. We can also do the articulation just to speed up this video here, guys, but it's pretty much going to be the same. He can turn from either side here. He can look probably just up about to there, and it's kind of tough. It starts to spring back down. He doesn't really want to look completely straight up, but he can look straight down. No complaints there. he can pivot side to side as well. So you're gonna just have to mess with it and contend with the all the different layers. This does have a actual knot, but you can actually unclip that there as well with a real working metal clip for the robe. His arms go up to about there. So again, with the heavy fat suit padding there, you're just gonna have to contend with that and be able to articulate him however you want. But yeah, for the most part, this guy, he's pretty good. I mean, like, even look at that. You're pushing him and his hand is all the way above his head. So you can get this guy in very nice poses. You're just going to have to contend with that. Very nice double bends here at the elbow. You can get him as close to the chest as you want. No complaints there. He does have a swivel at the upper bicep. And I'm sure it does hinge up and down as well. It's just a little bit tough to do that with all that padding. He does crunch a little bit, but again, it does want to spring back. Again, there's so much padding there that you're just going to have to contend with him and, you know, try to get the best posing that you can. He does also want to go backwards like so, like that, but probably will spring forward, and you can kind of get him to pivot and twist like so at the waist. The legs now, they're not really hindered like so, but he does have padding up here at the upper thigh, so he might spring back down. But again, that's not bad, nothing crazy. You can have him fighting there in some nice fighting poses. Again, the legs, not that much of, you know, padding down here below, so you can extend that. He does have a swivel at the upper thigh, and he has smooth, nice clicky smooth ratchets down here for a double bend there at the knee. So no complaints. And then the feet are on a peg, so they do rock forward and back and side to side. No complaints there whatsoever. So yeah, I'm really loving this guy. If you guys love Mandalorian and everything about the show and Boba Fett, just seeing him to Morrison return, I don't think these figures will disappoint for you guys. But like I said, I just wanted to show you guys the robed Boba real quick. He doesn't have much to him, but then at the same time he does. And you can also get this robe up here like that. There is a wiring around the hood of the robe. It's kind of tough, but you just have to work with it, and you can kind of get it into like a nice looking pose. But I will say that the hood is rather big, so you're gonna have him you don't want to have him completely covered because you're not going to see it and it's going to kind of look goofy, but you want to just play with that wiring just to get that perfect angle. I probably won't. I'll probably just have it, you know, just creeping up around his neck like so, just because I don't want to cover up that very beautiful head sculpt. But with that being said, let me bring out the armored Boba and take a look at that guy, because I'm sure that's what we're all here for. All right, guys, and here we have the armored Boba Fett. This guy, he looks so cool. It does not do it justice in videos or pictures. This guy has actual tangible feeling to him. If you guys feel all over this these armor plates, you can actually feel that weathering. This stuff, again, is not just you know, just paint applications. They're over the surface. You can actually feel all of this weathering. This guy looks amazing. To me, still, I think this is my favorite Boba Fett that we've seen, besides that last version from the Book of Boba Fett. I really do like that one just because of the colorway. But this guy here, when we seen him on screen, this is the first time that we see him again since being digested, or thought to be digested, by the Sarlacc pit. So it was just really cool to see them pick back up from the character's arc and then just bring him back like, you know, we didn't miss anything. But I really love that heavy weathering though on these armor plates. It just really looks good. And it brings, you know, the realisticness of the Beskar armor not being able to be damaged by, you know, anything in the universe. You know what I mean? Not even the acid stomach, you know, all the juices from the Sarlacc couldn't even digest this guy throughout this whole time. But he looks so badass, guys. Again, they pretty much are, you know, they're identical in height. I think they're using the same body here. Just the other robed Boba, he is padded heavily due to filling out the robes. But guys, no complaints here whatsoever. Just starting off with the bucket, he looks so super nice. Again, you got that dent there. You have all this weathering over the top. Crazy. He looks so good from any angle, I think. You got the rangefinder here as well that you can drop down. Very nice touch. And this bucket is actually on this foam weird neck peg that they created here. And that's also so you can get the height of the bucket. You can put it as high as you can on this peg if you want it to be riding higher, or you can have it a lot more squat and, you know, hiding that neck to have more of a menacing look. But I really love the design of this foam block peg here for the head sculpt. And they did that so that you can, you know, adjust the height, but also with them doing that, that gives them, you know, the freedom of being able to sculpt the inside entirely, guys. Look at that. In 1/6 scale, I never thought that I would see the internal workings of Boba Fett's helmet, and you can see the padding all around, but you can see all the circuitry that he's got going on there on either side, and it just makes you wonder what all tech is hidden inside this helmet. And it's just really cool because, you know, they didn't have to do that. You're never going to see this. This is going to be on the figure 90% of the time. But I love the fact that they went above and beyond, and just look at that. You can see all the sculpting there. It's amazing, guys. This is probably one of my favorite Boba Fett pieces here. But then with that being said, if you pop this off, and then if you pop off that little foam peg there, as you guys can see, you can then insert the Temuera Morrison head sculpt there, and you can have him kind of in a pose like this, holding the bucket itself. The only setback with that is that if you use the if you use the head sculpt here on this head, that's leaving the robed Boba headless. So they do expect you to switch the head sculpt between both of the figures. That is one of the drawbacks to this release, I think. I think if they would have gave us the full package, 2 head sculpts and a bucket, this would be an amazing release. But I think they lost some people there with that because that's kind of a paywall. You were set to buy both figures to get the one head sculpt, so to speak. But it's still not that bad. It works. If you could just got to switch it out if you want to take a couple shots with it. But he looks amazing there, even in the armored suit there with the head sculpt. It looks so realistic, accurate to the show. So yeah, I don't really have complaints with that, besides the fact that we're losing, you know, one figure if you can't really figure out how you want to display them. But I'm going to keep them how they came. The robed Boba is going to have the head sculpt, and this armored Boba is going to have the bucket on. I think there's no way that you can't have this guy with this bucket on. So it's very tough to choose, but we're going to go back to the full armored look here. All right, and just like so, you have got the helmet back on this bounty hunter, and he looks so cool, guys. Just take your time. It is a pain in the butt to get this this piece out of the port there, but I think this pops off first, and then you just got to pull with the peg there, and then it'll slide right out. But yeah, guys, no complaints whatsoever, guys. You guys see all of the weathering there on all of the plates. You have the multicolored flight suit here with the cream over the top and then the black running down under. You have that same belt system here that he has on the robed version. And you also have the other blaster here in the holster already. But yeah, guys, even the gauntlets, his cables here are a clear translucent plastic, and I know in the Book of Boba Fett version he comes with black cables, so just slight little changes there that you guys are just gonna have to choose. But you guys even have the I believe this is the Whistling Birds launcher here there. But yeah, guys, I love this thing through and throughout. The one thing that I don't like from this release is this little weird papery feeling thing that they got going on here for the little sashes that run down on the front and back. I don't know why they did that. I love the front piece here, that cloth, but this gives it a really cheap look here with that secondary piece. It's literally like paper, but you know, you might have to just contend with that. There's no like, you know, wiring in it, so it's, you know, kind of hard to pose with that. But I guess if you do some, you know, if you get some wire and hide it there, it's very possible to get a nice look. And I think that's what I'm going to end up doing over time. But yeah, guys, you guys can see that the bucket can look up, down, pretty much no restrictions. He's, you know, pretty easy to move. The arms, again, go up to about the same area there for the Rogue Boba. This guy does have padding as well, but just not as much. He does go forward to about there, and he goes back a good bit there as well. Nothing crazy. He does have a swivel in the bicep again, and double bend here for the elbows there, so you can get him in very nice action shots, very easy like so. I don't think you guys are gonna have a problem articulating this guy. Just take your time like always. And I think these just tuck in the back there, so do be careful when you're bending this side that you keep it all straight in line. But I don't know if there's really ever, you know, a problem with these cables getting broke. You do want to be careful there at the ends over time. He does shrug up and down, I do believe, but the padding, it's kind of hard to get him to do that. And then he does crunch forward a good bit, because you got to remember he comes with that rocket blasting effect. So you kind of want to maybe get him to doing that look. You're going to need him to lean forward a good bit. So I do like the articulation for that. And he does rock back a good bit, and he pivots side to side, and he does have twist like so. The legs, again, are less hindered there than the upper body. He's nothing crazy. I think he can go up to about there, kick out a good bit there until he starts springing back down because of the padding on the upper thigh. He does have a swivel up top, and these are clickier than the robed Boba, but he does have a double bend there in the knees. And then once again down here for the legs, the feet, he does have it on a ball rocker, so he can go forward and side to side like so. But yeah, guys, I just wanted to show you guys very quickly the articulation and just a closer look at both of these guys. I know this video is pretty long. I tried to do the best that I could for two figures in one, but thank you guys so much for watching this video. I'm going to see if I can finish it out here with just a double pose here, just because I don't want to keep running this video any longer. But thank you guys so much for watching. All right, guys, and there you have it. As you guys can see, I pulled out a little double pose here. And this is probably how I'll have these guys displayed. I think that is the purpose of this 2-pack, is to kind of have them, you know, backing each other up and, you know, posing them together. They look very, very nice like this. As you guys can see, I have the robed Boba. He's almost like in a leaping pose, kind of like he was in that one episode. Like I said, the articulation is very, very good. But I switched it around. I believe the flight pole one is the one that they want you to use for this Boba Fett. but kind of just like in the box photos here, I have him leaning over with his blaster there over his one gauntlet, and I think this really does the trick. You guys can see there, we got the whistling birds. But yeah, this guy, he looks very, very nice, and I love the way they look together, guys. So if you guys don't mind, drop a comment below and let me know what you guys think of these poses. But thank you guys so much for sticking with us till the end of the video. If you guys liked this content, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And let us know how we are doing over here at the House of Collectibles. Stay tuned for more content, more unboxings coming along the way, guys. But thank you guys so much for sticking out with us. And this is the Boba Fett 2-pack, and we will catch you guys next time. Peace.